the oven, cooked and cooled. Then you can mix in your dried fruit. The one you're going to be having today has currants and some chopped dates mixed into it. Apricots are great, dried cranberries are great, raisins are great. You know, whatever dried fruit you like, don't cook it with the dried fruit because the dried fruit's already dried out. So if you cook it with the dried fruit, it becomes really hard and really, really quite dry. A little note on the dried fruit. Dried fruit often becomes the snack of choice of healthy people. It's a lot of sugar in dried fruit. If you think about having a handful of apricots, you're having 7 or 8 apricots, you'd never have half a dozen whole apricots. Just something to think about. Dried fruit's like one of those condiment things. You have a little bit of it. It's not a full handful snack type deal. So that's the granola. We're going to learn how to make milk. Does anyone here already make their own nut, seed, coconut? What do you use? Use almond? Okay. You make some over there? Do I see you? Pumpkin seeds? Right. So what you buy in the store is you can get almond milk on its own, you get hemp milk on its own, you can get rice milk on its own. I'm not a big fan of soy. Often we go vegetarian, and I do apologize, but most of the food you can buy here is made from soy. A lot of vegetarian food, processed food, is soy. So when people turn to vegetarianism, they want, well, I was eating hamburgers before made out of meat, tomorrow I'm going to have hamburgers made out of soy. It's not really promoting the health and the compassion of your personal environmental, or, well, you know, you're saving animals, but it's questionable about the soy and feeding animals. We won't get into that. But the idea is that if you cut out meat and then start using soy to replace your meat, your cheese, your dairy, and then it's in flours, it's in all processed foods, you're eating a lot of soy. So I try and avoid this soy milk. Soy, tofu, tempeh, fine in small quantities you should not have soy in your diet every day. The only thing you should have every single day is fresh water. Other than that, mix it up. So we're going to make some milk. And the awesome thing about making your own milk from home, from scratch, is it doesn't just have to be almond milk. It doesn't just have to be pumpkin seed milk or rice milk or hemp milk. You can mix it all together so you get the benefits of all that whole variety of seeds and nuts. And if you want oats, you can put oats in for oat milk. Rice, you can make rice milk. My personal favorite is to go to some of the ethnic markets, buy a coconut, crack it open. If you want a giggle, you can go onto my blog and look up, I think it's called Lovely Bunch of Coconuts, and it's me cracking open a coconut. I was trying to do it with a hammer and a nail. But the easiest thing, wrap your coconut in a towel, take it out to your driveway or sidewalk, smash it open, and you can just pop out the coconut. So you can make your own coconut milk. Often, you know, with Thai curries and stuff, coconut milk seems to be sort of a staple canned food that we have. Very easy to make your own. So I typically go with a ratio of 1 cup of nuts and seeds, or coconut or whatever it may be, to 2 cups of water. So today we'll make some with pumpkin seeds. We can put in some dried coconut, which will work if you don't have a fresh coconut. We can put in some sunflower seeds, because that's what we have. And we'll make awesome hemp milk, and you know hemp milk can be very expensive, so you can make it yourself. And then for sweetener, and we'll put in some almonds too. And then for sweetener, instead of, you know, often you'll see when you buy, you know, vanilla flavored milk or whatever, that they use a lot of cane sugar, which is a nice word for sugar. Sugar is sugar. It feeds disease. It creates an acidic environment in your body. It's a treat. It shouldn't be in your milk every single day. But what you can use are things like dates, which are really rich in minerals, which will sweeten it up. Another thing I like to add, and even if you are buying your own milk, buy the plain kind. You want to buy foods with the least ingredients as possible. But Lisa, can I get you to? Oh, no, just joking. I like that one. So you add a little bit of vanilla. So if you're buying, again, if you eat yogurt, buy plain yogurt and put some honey and vanilla into it at home. If you're buying your milks, buy the plain and put some vanilla or some honey, or you know, if you want it a little sweet. So we're going to put a little vanilla in. And then we will add some water. And cashew as well makes really nice nut milk. So I'm just going to put this on the blender, on the blender. If you don't have a Vitamix, get one. Just saying. So blend it until it's smooth. And then there's various ways you can strain it. You can use a sieve, which I'm sure most people have in their kitchen. They're rather inexpensive. I'm going to need to dump this really quick. Really, you can get at a hardware store or dollar store a sieve, or you can get what I like to call my nut sack. So both work really well. These are really great because you can also sprout in them, but everyone likes a good nut sack. So we'll wait till Lisa's back. And so I'm just going to show you how this gets used. If you're doing it in here, you can just pour it through, like so, and use a spoon to strain it. If you're using the nut sack, how many times can I say that? You just simply pour it right in, seal it up, and you can let it drain. You can also get, if you have those jelly strainer things, those work as well, and they come with a stand that will sit on your bowl. But once it's, you just give it a squeeze. We're squeezing the nut sack. Just like a little massage. Hey, it's making love in the kitchen, come on. And so what you end up with, I won't go through the whole shebang, but you get in the end, I don't know if you can see, but a very rich, creamy, delicious, all-natural, sweetened, preservative-free milk. Now, some of the things you can do with this, because it'll stay in your fridge for about 3 or 4 days, is you can freeze it in a mason jar. So you can make a whole batch of it and then freeze it, so you're taking your own milk out of the freezer. Something I like to do is freeze it into ice cube trays that you can then take out and add those to your smoothies. So that's one great idea, isn't it? It's like, yeah, why didn't I think of that? That's why I'm here. So you can do all that. Lisa, I'm going to get you to rinse this. So what you're left with in the bag, in the nut sack in the end, will be the nut pulp, or seed pulp, whatever it may be. And those can be dried out and used as breadcrumbs, sort of a gluten-free breadcrumb replacement for breading. You can use it as a base for cookies. Cookies that call for peanut butter, almond butter, or any of those, or put it in breads and cakes, so you're increasing the fiber protein content of all those foods. If you're using things like nuts and almonds and oats, it makes a fantastic facial scrub. So you can do it that way. Something else I forgot to mention, we're making the oats. I do have these tutorials. They're all on different themes. I've got a 5-day vegan transitional program, and we're actually doing it as a group challenge starting September 17th. But another of the programs I have is natural body care, and using oats and almonds and all that, essentially what's in your granola, and you have the recipe there for an almond oat facial scrub, and that's what I use every day to wash my face at the end of the day. So taking these foods and applying them into your cosmetic routine is a great way to cut down on your toxic exposure, chemical waste, packaging, processing, all those things. I like when people do that. They're like, yeah, I like that. So that's something to think about. And again, with the nut pulp, you can use that as a scrub on your face. Yay, do we like that? Okay, so what you can do with your nut milk in the end is make an amazing smoothie with it. So if you read my blog, you may be familiar with my 3-day green smoothie challenge. And green smoothies aren't necessarily about, my father's in the front row and he's allergic to bananas. Sorry. I'm opening it over here. So if you are familiar with it, the idea behind a green smoothie is not that your smoothies have to be bright green, it's that you have more vegetables in it than